Thank you. L'chaim, doimim u'l'shalom, l'chaim, baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, shakol niyeh b'dvaro. Amen. Nila la 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 ya la la ya la ya la la yom ba ya mini la la mini la 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 ya 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 la 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 ya la ya la ya la ya la la mini la 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 oh ya 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 la 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 ya la la him ba la la ya la la What are we singing? Choose something. I don't know if Cheb is going to know it. Something everyone can get.
Hold your turn 12?
Good. We started off.
לחיים, אוי לחיים טובים ולשלום.
All right, Steve.
I want to thank the following sponsors: Aaron Schiller.
Oh.
For a Karas Tov to Derek and Lauren Fine for schlepping him to Lakewood. That must have been a fun ride.
Got it. Tell him to sit. Jesse, invite him to sit next to you. Good. Good. Okay. He's got this. Chaim. Okay.
All right. Next up, thank you to Jerry Applebaum in honor of his son Jacob's engagement to Amber Hazan from
Mazel tov.
and for Shlema for Jerry's grandson Sheila Oren Ben Batya Lavana.
Before Shlema.
Amen. And a Mazel tov, Matt and Rena Walters in honor of the birth of a baby girl this morning to their children.
Oh, Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Chaim.
And Shirley Rosenberg. Oh, you're getting us on video. I get it. In honor of Yehuda Rosanna Clock, may they have a very healthy, fabulously wealthy Zadie. I'm so lost on this one.
Amen.
Ask any questions.
Hallelujah.
Also, special thank you to Yosef's La Familia. I hope I pronounced that correctly. La Familia. He's a food truck in front of Community Garage across from 7 Mile Market. Wow. It's fantastic. And they reached out to me about 3 weeks ago. Thank you to Ilya, a good friend, for setting that up. Wanting to get back to the shows in the community, of which ours was one. They were thrilled when they heard about the Chaburah. We were trying to make it work out for the past number of weeks, so the food is sponsored by them. Down to the plating, everything was delicious, so please give them your business. He's a real mensch, real Mesiras Nefesh.
Wow, incredible. Sure, Chassidus. Right, I want to say a good night of Shabbos, a tremendous Chos Baruch Hashem to be all to learn together. So we are continuing tonight the Miras Hashem in the Piacezna on Pesach. We'll say, just pass that down over here. This way. All right, so we're going to do Emirat Hashem. We'll do 2 pieces together, 2 pieces from the Rebbe. And again, as I mentioned, all right. As I mentioned last week, Emirat Hashem. This week we're gonna go in the order over here of the Haggadah. So we'll see different pieces over the course. We only have I think we have 2 more shiurim, right? We have next week and then the week after Emirat Hashem.
We're lucky
the week after. So Emirat Hashem we'll get a little bit over here of just some of the Rebbe's orus as we go into the Yom Tov of Pesach together. So tonight we're going to begin Emirat Hashem with a piece on Halach Ma'anyo. So again, I will say. So remember, as I mentioned yesterday. So remember, the Rebbe didn't write the Perush on the Haggadah. So what you see over here in front of you is really like a likot, like a collection of the Rebbe's Torah from different places that was kind of not attributed, but that was connected to different parts in the Haggadah. So here again, of course, the section is Halach Ma'ani, which is the beginning of the section of Magid. And in this particular section, we speak about the bread of affliction. We speak about matzah. Matzah, of course, has multiple identities over the course. Let's say the bread of affliction, bread of freedom. And the Rebbe says as follows. If you take a look on the bottom, so this is on page, it's the page that says Halach Ma'anya on it, page 17. The bottom section that says Halayla Hazeh Hishtokakus. So remember again, here the Rebbe is actually making mention also of the Manishtana, right? And so much of the Manishtana, so much of this is the Halayla Hazeh piece, the idea that there's something so incredibly unique about the Leil HaSeder, something so unique just about the entire experience over here about the Leil HaSeder. So the Rebbe writes as follows. He says, and this is really, Rose, this is a piece, I actually was thinking about doing this a little bit closer to Pesach, but then realizing that there really is so much profundity in this piece, and being that this is Shabbos Mevarachim going into Chodesh Nisan, I think that there's a little bit of an opportunity for us to set the stage for what we want the coming month to be, and kind of like what we want to accomplish, and what we want to make of ourselves, and what we want to make of this month. So the Rebbe says as follows: Halay lazeh, b'mei Pesach yodeahu kvar b'kirbo ki Yisraelhu. When the days of Pesach come, so a Yid begins to feel something different inside of his heart. Right? Already again, inside of himself, he begins to feel that he's Yisrael. What does that mean? And it's so beautiful. Lo dai lo halal echad sha'amar ubeshira achas lo shaketa nafsho. It's not enough just to say the Hallel during the Seder. Remember again, many have the beautiful custom to say Hallel already at night after Ma'ariv in Shul. Right? That idea, where does that come? We're going to say Hallel as part of the Haggadah not so long afterwards. Why do you have to start saying Hallel in Shul? The idea is that
the neshama is bursting with such incredible excitement that one halal is not enough. One halal is not enough, right? B'shira achos lo shaketa nafsho asoeres. And again, the Rebbe say, if you notice how the Rebbe describes the state of the neshama, the state of the soul on the night of the Seder, is he says again, nafsho hasoeres. What does soeres mean? Sa'ar means what? Stormy. Stormy, right? We'll say, isn't it incredible how the Rebbe, the way he describes the Yiddish and the Shema, the way he describes the Jewish soul, he doesn't describe it as inspired, right? He describes it as stormy. You know what happens? What happens on a stormy night, right? The stormy night, you can imagine a person, right, is on a boat on a stormy night. What happens, right? The storm, it upsets everything. Nothing is status quo. Everything is turned upside down. He says a Yid comes to the night of the Seder, and the truth is the nefesh, the neshama, it's so'ira, it's stormy. It's stormy. I know that there's so much koach, there's so much ability, there's so much beauty, there's so much kedusha, there's so much I could be, there's so much I could accomplish, there's so much I could do. So it's not even just the fact that I'm inspired. I'm inspired, we're all inspired the whole year. But Pesach, it's a storminess. It's a storminess. I'll tell you, one of the things that's going to be very exciting about this year is with the Seder falling on Motzei Shabbos. There's actually an opportunity to come into the Seder, not like falling on your face, not like a mensch, not falling on your face, and then not exhausted and not looking at your watch, but really just the opportunity to be well rested and to go into the Seder and to really have a Seder. You know what it means to have a Seder? How do you know if you have a good Seder? So I would say a good Seder is kind of like davening at our shul. They both have the same thing in common, which is don't look at your watch, right? Because you're only going to get frustrated. Don't look at your watch, right? Again, that's why we've never had a clock on the wall of a shul. You will never find the clock on any wall of this entire Beis HaKnesses. There is no clock. Many people have donated clocks, right? They go to that great place where clocks go to die, right? There's a box of clocks in the shul office. All right? Thank you to everyone who donated them. They don't go on the walls here. Why don't they go on the walls here? Because this is a place where you come. A shul in general is a place where you come. Shul is l'malam min hazman. What does it matter? What does it matter if davening is 2.5 hours or 3.5 hours? What does it make a difference? What does it matter? We're here to accomplish great things. What does it make a difference if the Seder goes until 1 or the Seder goes until 3? What does it matter? It's not about the time. It's not about time. I'll say, again, no one ever watches the clock, right? When the football game goes into overtime. Oh, I can't believe, I'm so upset. Goes into overtime, right? Overgrown men in tight pants, jumping all over each other, right? I can't believe went into overtime. Let's say, again, because when you enjoy something, it doesn't make a difference how long it takes. It doesn't make a difference. So the Rebbe says over here, we come to the Leil HaSeder, and literally again, my neshama is stormy. It's stormy. It's literally, again, it's churning inside, because I know that I know that at the Seder, the month of Nisan, the month of Pesach, I have the ability to accomplish incredible things. So literally, my neshama is in a state of upheaval. Now what happens during the storm, right? If you're that boat on the water, what happens? You don't know what's going to happen, right? What's going to be in the end? Like, is the boat going to capsize? Is the boat going to make it? To a certain degree, it's the same thing with spiritual storminess as well. What's going to happen? Now, the good news is I'm not going to capsize, but I could come out of spiritual storminess the same exact person, or I could choose to affect dramatic change. That's the power of Pesach, the power of Nisan. The Rebbe goes on, Hayomim yimei kedem heim. This is so beautiful. The days of Pesach are like yimei kedem. What does that mean? Hagan Eden yarad lo li olam hazeh v'hu yoshev bo. When the Yom Tov of Pesach comes, it is literally as if Gan Eden comes down into this world, and I get to sit in Gan Eden. 8 days of Gan Eden. V'kulo ne'apach li'ish acher. And I have the ability to transform myself into someone fundamentally different. I just want to point out to you something very interesting. So you'll say to yourself, right, if you're not used to the Piacezna's writing, you'll say to yourself, well, where did the Rebbe get this from? Where did he get this from? And if you ask that question, you know what you are? You know what you are? If you ask that question, a Kalter Litvak. Not just a Litvak, right? A Kalter Litvak. No. That's a little too strong. I was saying, just understand, all kidding aside, remember, so much of what the Piacezna does is the Piacezna describes the experiential nature of Yiddishkeit. And the experiential nature doesn't have a footnote, Right? The Rebbe is not quoting from, Meseches Sanhedrin Daf Kuf. That's not where he's quoting from. What the Rebbe is giving us, the Rebbe is saying, I'm going to tell you in the neshama what we experience. That's not a Gemara. It's not a Medrash. It's not a Maimer Chazal. It's a truth. It's an emes that resides inside of the soul of the Yid. And what the Rebbe is telling us, I will say, if I open up my, it's true. It's true. Comes down at Pesach, there's something so fundamentally different that happens. There's an energy that's there. Just, what the great challenge is? So often, I'm just so tired. And I'm so like, when is this going to be over? That I don't give myself the opportunity to open up my soul and to be able to ingest like the turbulent spirituality that is churning all around me. So literally Pesach comes, the Rebbe says, Gan Eden comes down to this world. Gan Eden comes down to this world, and I have the ability to transform myself into someone different. I'll call upon him. Le'ikve ish Yisrael amiti higia. If nothing else, we'll say it's incredible. What Pesach gives me the opportunity to do is to go ahead and encounter my true self. I was saying, Piacezna, we've learned this many times in the Rebbe's words, that a lot of times we spend a lot of life running from our true selves. Remember again in B'nai Machshava Tova, the Rebbe says the greatest challenge we have is what? Getting in touch with my neshama. I'm not in touch with my soul. I have erected so many barriers and so many walls and so many partitions and so many divisions. And I have this whole narrative of who I am and what I am. And a lot of times, it's not true. It's not true. I'm not who I project to be. I'm not who I pretend to be. But the beauty of the Yontiv of Pesach is it gives us the opportunity to reorient ourselves with our true self. We go free. We are emancipated. And we have this ability to find the true me. The Rebbe goes on. Lozeh moach, this is incredible. Lozeh moach, v'lozeh ha'alev shekol hashana. The mind of Pesach and the heart of Pesach is different than the mind of the heart of the entire year. Lo Pesach kvar ba. The night of Pesach comes, v'unaseh lahar bo'er, and I become like a burning mountain. Like a har, right? As a reference to Har Sinai, har bo'er ba'ish. I become like a burning mountain. Ha'esh misparitz, v'efshol is apek ad haseder. The fire burns inside of me. Again, I think what the Rebbe is also referring to over here is, comes Rosh Chodesh Nisan, which is why this is such an important piece. Comes Rosh Chodesh Nisan, by the time Rosh Chodesh Nisan comes again, the fire is burning inside of me already. And again, I can't even hold it in until the Seder. Umuchrach, takef b'mariv lomar halal. And already by Mariv already, as we said before, I can't hold it in. I want to point out something amazing. Pesach is the one Yontiv. It's interesting how, if you notice, like I would venture to say that come like Rosh Chodesh Adar, people don't necessarily have like a burning desire to learn Megillas Esther. Right? It's interesting, right? I know the Megillah is coming, but what's fascinating is people have this desire to learn the Haggadah. Right, it's fascinating. There's, they say that the Haggadah is like the number one Judaically selling book. Right, people are like, there's something about the Haggadah that draws us into it already from the beginning of the month. Right, I want to learn the Haggadah. I want Divrei Torah. I want the Pshetlach. I want everything. The Rebbe says because at the end of the day comes Chodesh Nisan. There's a fire that's burning inside of me. And I think that fire is going to come out, but I can't even hold it until the Seder. So already by Ma'ariv on the first night of the first night of Pesach, I need to say Ma'ariv, I need to say Hallel. Really? Go home. You can have the Seder. There's plenty of time for Hallel, plenty of time for singing, plenty of time for everything else. I can't wait. I just can't wait. I need to do it right now. Umuchrach, take it from Ma'ariv Lomar Hallel. The Kama Chazak Huaguf, Sha'omir Alamdo, B'Shah Sha'alev Ben Hashama, Kach Meraktim Umefazizim. But here's the problem. Right? The problem is the body, right? The body gets in the way a little bit, right? And the body often stands in the way of the neshama, right? The neshama is ready to dance, the neshama is ready to do, the neshama is ready to celebrate, the neshama is ready to do all of these things, but the body kind of, stands its ground and keeps the neshama in check, holds the neshama back a little bit. And when we finish Hallel and Shul, on the first night of Pesach, V'omer, Nochach Hashem, when we finish up, right, that Hallel in Shul, Kimat Namaz Limbo Bikirbo. It's like my heart is ready to melt inside of me. I will say, do you hear what the Rebbe is describing over here? Do you hear this state of spiritual elation? This state of literally being on fire for the Ribbon Shel. I will say, this is not an intellectual thing. What the Rebbe is saying is, now you might say to yourself, that's the Piacezna. Right? The Piacezna feels that. I don't feel that. We all feel it. We all feel it. Here's the difference. The Piacezna The Rebbe allowed himself to feel it. We often have like spiritual blockers, right? We have to, for whatever the reason, I will say we're scared. It's the same way. Why don't we all like daven out loud, right? Right? Like Kabbalah Shabbos comes, like why am I not like screaming on the top of my lungs, right? Why is it? I want to. So what holds me back? Listening
to Moshe.
Right? No, holds me back is like I don't want to look weird. Right? I don't want to look weird. And maybe like I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy that davens out loud. Right? I'm not that guy. Like so. Like it's interesting. Even though I want to. Like I want. No, I would say I want to just tell you something. The best Kabbalah Shabbos is dafka when you don't hear the chazan. Right? When you don't hear the chazan because everyone else's collective voice is drowning out. That's a Kabbalah. If you could hear the chazan, something's wrong. Then that's a concert. That's called the concert. And in Judaism, we're really not big fans of concerts. Don't look at each other, avoid eye contact with one another over here. Whatever you're talking about over here. Steve's not here, right? Stop it. Whatever that is, stop it, right? Right? So that's not, concerts are good. What are concerts? Concerts are like spectator sports. You go, you enjoy, and again, okay, of course, a concert is enjoy. It's a performance opportunity. In Yiddishkeit, again, when I daven, I don't want a concert. I don't want to hear the chazan. You know what I want? I want the chazan to start off the first note. And then I want the chazan's voice to be drowned out by everyone else screaming on the top of their lungs. But it's so much nicer to hear the chazan. No, it's not. So go to Spotify if you want to hear the chazan, right? In other words, that's not. No, so why don't we daven like that? Because it's interesting. Whatever it is, we're spiritually inhibited. Just like I'm scared to, so to speak, let my spiritual hair down. I mean, it's the wrong metaphor for me, but you understand, right? In other words, right? I'm just, for whatever the reason, I'm like self-conscious about it. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm self-conscious about it. So like, I don't know, I'm going to look too frum, I'm going to look too this. People are going to say, who is he yelling at the top of his lungs? And the Rebbe said, meanwhile, what you don't even realize is your neshama is saying, let me out. Let me out. You've caged me all of these years. Let me out. And the whole year, says the Rebbe, we keep the neshama caged. And the whole year, we keep the neshama in. And the whole year, I'm scared to be, or I'm just nervous to be, or just not confident enough to be the true spiritual me. When we first moved into the shul, so in this shul. So, the front wall of the shul is Jerusalem stone. So whenever I'm there on Shabbos, I'm always makbid to kiss the stones. Mamish, like it's stones of Yerushalayim. The stones of not Yerushalayim, from the south of Eretz. So I call it Jerusalem stone, but it's not from Yerushalayim. Hey, from Eretz Yisrael. And someone saw me do it. They're like, what are you doing? I said, what am I doing? V'ratzu avadas avanel. Right? Who doesn't want the stones of Eretz Yisrael? They're right here. They're my fingertips. Of course, I'm going to kiss it. He's like, I pulled the press. I said, come on. You know you want to kiss it. You know you want to kiss it. He's like, no. I'm like, you know you want to kiss it. He's like, fine, I want to kiss it. I said, go and kiss it. So he's like this. He's like looking around, looking around over here. Looking around. And then he kissed it. What's the matter with you? Just go kiss it. A shtick Eretz Yisrael, a piece of Eretz Yisrael is sitting right in front of you, and you're not going to put your hands on it, and you're not going to put your lips on it. You're not going to just close your eyes for a moment and just put your head to it. What's the matter with you? Why not? Because people are going to look at you strange. Who cares? Stop caging the neshama. Just let the neshama out. Let it do its thing. And the Rebbe says the whole year, the neshama is caged. The whole year. Becomes the night of Pesach, the Rebbe says, you can't hold it back anymore. The neshama is like, I refuse to be caged. I refuse to be held back. So what happens? My riv is over. Okay, so maybe I could keep it together. My riv. Then the neshama is like, hollow right now. Come on, let's go home. It's late already. It's this year, right? First Seder is going to start late this year, right? Say, hollow, come on, we'll sing it to Seder. We'll sing it to Seder. There's plenty of time. Neshama's like, no, I'm not waiting. Now. I'm so tired of being hampered and stymied and constricted and caged by you, the body. Let me out. And that's the entire avodah of the Rebbe. The Rebbe goes on, he says, He says, and when we get to the end of Hallel and Shul, and we say the bracha, then the neshama's like, finally, Givaldik, this is incredible. And the neshama literally is ready to like melt inside. He goes on, he says, Ribono shel olam, zeu be'emes hatov v'amiti. Really? The night of Pesach, it's the ultimate good. The true good. Hatov shebechol ha'alamas ha'yon v'tachtonim. The most beautiful and incredible thing that you could find in this world, in this sphere, in the celestial sphere. L'holos l'cha or l'zamer l'shmecha. And then the Rebbe goes on. And this is all, by the way, so far, this is all just Ma'ariv. This is all just Ma'ariv and Shul. Wait, we're not even up to the best part yet. Look at the left-hand paragraph. The Yoshev ala Seder. Oh, then I come to the Seder. Mekadesh v'omer ha'gada v'orech ha'shulchan. So we make Kiddush. We go ahead and we say the Haggadah, and then we have the Su'udah. I will say, by the way, if you notice what's missing over here from the Rebbe, right? By the way, that is a very fast Seder that the Rebbe just described up here, right? I make Kiddush, I say the Haggadah, and the Rebbe's already up to the Su'udah. He's up to the meal. Ha-Su'udah sheme'ein Su'udah Olam Haba. And that Su'udah is like Olam Haba. I will say, I just want to tell you something. And we spoke about this last year, we'll speak about this more. I want to tell you a little something. The Seder doesn't have to be filled with Divrei Torah. It doesn't have to. In fact, sometimes the reason why people dread the Seder is because everyone and their brother has something to say. Right? And in my mind, I've calculated out, okay, this was going to say this, and it's going to go for 4 minutes. This is going to go this. And so I know that, okay, I got to pace it because we can't do too many different Torah by Karpas, because if you get to Karpas, and there's Yachas, and then by Yachas, and then by Magid, Manashtana, 73 people are saying Manashtana, and they'll have a Dvar Torah on it, and this, that. I'm like, already, like, I'm schwitzing, I'm anxious, I need like a Prozac, I'll even take the Shluvitz right now. Like, just give me anything. I want to tell you something amazing. Sometimes, we'll talk about this more as we get closer to Pesach. Sometimes the most beautiful Seder is not even where you have so many Divrei Torah. It's where you're singing, and it doesn't even have to be singing something in the Seder. Sometimes you can be in the middle of the Seder and there's a niggin that comes to your mind, and you just want to belt out like, Ivdu as Hashem b'simcha, and you sing that for 20 minutes. That's also a Seder. That's also Magid. That's also Yitzias Mitzrayim. That's also it. So the Rebbe says, so the Rebbe says, Magid, you'll do it whatever you want. Whatever you want to do with Magid, right? Whatever you want to do with it. You want to say a lot of Divrei Torah, few Divrei Torah. You want to say no Divrei Torah and just sing the entire time. Whatever you're going to do, but just let the neshama guide the way. Let the neshama do its thing. Come to the Suda. And also, even the Suda, a lot of times also by the Seder. Like by the time you get to the Suda, right, what do you want to do by the time you get to the Suda?
Bench.
You just want to bench, right? You just want to bench. Besides that, I want to say that again, we'll talk about this more. One has to be very makbid about this. Like, generally, there is someone who has worked very hard to make a Suda. Whether it's a wife, a mother, whether you cook yourself, somebody's worked hard to make a Suda. And it's so important that at the Seder, that proper kavod be given to the Suda. And that proper time be given to the Suda. And to recognize that it's a Yom Tov Suda. And it shouldn't be rushed through. And you don't have to eat 4 hard-boiled eggs, beforehand, and everything. Like, even though you're hungry. Just to understand, like, there's a way to do a Seder. There's a way to conduct a Seder. He goes on, he says, Game vari haguf ozvim kevares gufam. Even the limbs of the body, so to speak, to a certain almost like detach from the body itself. He goes on, he says, Hachushim es chushem, the senses, ultimately again, even they're different. Everything physically is different on this night. V'kulam mishtachavim u'mispatlim la'Hashem shekol kach iskarev elenu ata. And everything, the body, the limbs, the senses, everything is subservient to the Ribono Shel Olam. Af hashulchan, even the table, haneros v'aksalim, the candles, the walls, kulanu yachad nasim chativa achos. Everything becomes one like unified unit of service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The kulanu kor. Look what the Rebbe says, and we all bow down to Hashem. Bochim, we cry. Bosa, you think to yourself, who cries at the Seder? Who cries at the Seder? Who cries at the Seder? Right? People who uncage their neshamas cry at the Seder. Because there's freedom. because there's untold possibilities, because there's spiritual storminess, because all of this is unfolding right here in front of me. All of this stuff is occurring right now. Who doesn't cry? Who doesn't cry at the Seder? Smechim u'mahalalim. I'm joyous. I'm praising lahodo v'tifarto yisbarach. Me'ein olam haba na'aseh bahem. Literally, again, everything is me'ein olam haba. Everything is me'ein olam haba. Yalo sodai v'chol asher bo, like we say in Kabbalah Shabbos. Literally, again, the field, everything will sing praise to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Azir anenu kol atzayar, kulam neshamos tahoros, v'kulam yachad ovdim u'mishabchim lahod kidushaso asher nizkal le'ineihem. Everything and everyone is serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The neshama, the guf, everything is serving Hashem. V'kama godol ha'isha Yisraeli, shemamshich halayla hazeh, mikol hashana, b'tamid shakuahu b'tara. Shabbos, I see, you should just know that something interesting happens at the Leil HaSeder. To a certain degree, the Leil HaSeder is like the composite of everything that's come before it, and ultimately, again, provides the Kedusha for everything that's going to come after it. V'tamid shakua b'tara, Kedusha, v'tzichtzuach elyon kazeh. So we'll say this is how the Rebbe describes the Leil HaSeder. Now, why is this important? You'll say to yourself, okay, but like we're 2 weeks out. Literally, mamish, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks from Motzei Shabbos. We're 2 weeks out. So why are we doing this? I said, I want to tell you why this is an incredibly important piece. First, l'chaim, to just the Mirat Hashem. Halavai, we should be zocheh to just have a little bit of a Leil HaSeder, like the Piacezna's Leil HaSeder. L'chaim. Shabbos says, why are we mentioning this here? Why are we getting to this now? Because what's very important is as follows. So Sunday, Motzei Shabbos Sunday is Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Haba Alinu L'Tova. And B'Nisan Nigalu, B'Nisan Asidin Ligal. And I will say, we have to realize that if we want a Leil HaSeder like this, like if I want a Leil HaSeder of uncaging the neshama, of literally, again, allowing my entire body to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If I want to feel 2 weeks from Motzei Shabbos, and I want to come from Ma'ariv, and when Ma'ariv is over, I want to feel like I don't want to go home yet. Right? I want to say Hallel. If you want to feel like that, the preparation for that begins with Rosh Chodesh. You can't roll into this, right? You can't have this type of spiritual experience without preparation. So by definition, there has to be, and when does the preparation, well, the preparation could start even tonight, but at least to give ourselves a real start point, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. You know what I say? The power of Rosh Chodesh in general is Rosh Chodesh represents a new beginning. Rosh Chodesh represents a new opportunity. And every single month need not be a replica of the one that came before it. And when Rosh Chodesh Nisan comes, especially Rosh Chodesh Nisan, where there's such an energy of renewal, such an energy of emancipation, we can go ahead and change ourselves and make ourselves into something different. And if you want a Leil HaSeder, if you want a Pesach like the Piacezna just described, then there's something you have to do, and you have to do it between tonight and over Shabbos. What are you changing about yourself and your life? Comes Motzei Shabbos, comes Rosh Chodesh Nisan, comes that first Ya'aleh V'yavo. What's going to be different about who I am and the way that I live? Because if I'm not ready to make the necessary changes come the new month, I won't have a Seder like this. Well, so you know what the Seder will be like? So it'll be like every other Seder, right? Which is, right, how are most, and it's so tragic, how are most Starim conducted? How are most Starim conducted? How are they conducted? Quickly, right? In other words, like, let's do this, right? Right, again, Pesach, Matzah, Mar, check, right? Good, Abakosos, check. Good, and let's go. Chagadya, good, okay, thank you. Right, good night. And right, and again, Yosezain, I will say, and there's such a missed opportunity, but again, my neshama is not going to be awakened unless, of course, I start preparing. Preparation begins Chodesh Nisan. And if we decide, again, I will say, don't choose 10 things you're going to do. Choose one thing you're going to do. What's the one thing that I am starting Motzei Shabbos Rosh Chodesh Nisan? Maybe for some of us, it's going to be I'm going to daven with a minyan at least once a day. Okay, Tefillah B'tzibur is great. Maybe for others, I'm going to set aside time to learn Torah every day. Maybe for others, I'm going to speak to my wife and a nice whatever it is, whatever No,
You can't live here.
right, yeah, you're right. You're a newlywed. You certainly can't. Right? So let me say, whatever it is. I mean, I wish, not even kidding about it, right? In other words, so many of us have things we have to fix in our marriages, things we have to fix in our relationships. Whatever it is, your Kabbalah doesn't have to be ben Adam Lamaka. It goes to be Adam Lechavero. But choose something that you're doing Chodesh Nisan. Because if I choose something there's a Kabbalah, then I stand a better chance of unlocking the caged neshama comes Pesach night. Let's begin the next piece. We have a few more minutes left. So we'll say, let's take a look. Turn the page. So this is beautiful. So we'll say, I just want to point out something really beautiful in Manishtana. Let's see. The Rebbe says, "Let's ragish." So the Rebbe says, "Zeh yisod Chassidus." We'll at least begin this evening. We're not gonna finish it or do it justice. But in Meretz Hashem, we'll at least begin to take a look at it. So we'll say, what you need to know is as follows: Zeh yisod Chassidus. Sheispal these lives. So let me talk about this outside a little bit. The Rebbe says, and I will say, this is very, part of the beauty. People have asked me like, okay, we've been learning the Piacezna for how long now? Like
3 years.
3 years. So I said, okay, like there are other Rebbes that we could learn. Of course, and it's true. There are so many others. Like part of the beauty of learning from a particular Rebbe for a sustained amount of time is, first of all, he becomes your Rebbe, as opposed to a Rebbe. I think many of us feel like if somebody were to ask you, like, who's your Rebbe? I feel like you could say, like, the Piacezna is my Rebbe. Now they might look at you a little bit strange, right? But Lamaisa, but it's still MS. Who's the Piacezna is my Rebbe? Of course, I learn with the Piacezna every single Thursday night. I have Yechidus with the Piacezna every single Thursday night. It's not a Shaila. The Piacezna is my Rebbe. Every Yid has to have a Rebbe. If you don't have a Rebbe, there's something missing in your life. Piacezna is my Rebbe. And I will say, part of the beauty of learning the Rebbe's Torah week in and week out is there are certain themes that we see that become familiar, and certain concepts that become ingrained within us. So this is one of these. The Rebbe says, one of the most important things in Yiddishkeit, Zeh yisod Chassidus, if a person wants to be a Chassid, and by a Chassid, he doesn't mean like the guy, it means someone wants to be a pious individual, sheyispal v'yislaiv. You have to have the midah of passion. Person has to possess the ability to become passionate. And Abba says, tell us just a moment. The Rebbe says, if you notice, by the way, we'll see, he says, Ubdvarim nemuchim yaschil v'isragshus gufanis yisagel is ora b'han l'kedusha. And the Rebbe says, by the way, I need you to be passionate. By the way, I want to point out, he says, I don't mean you have to be passionate about Torah. I don't mean you have to be passionate about tefillah. I don't mean you're passionate about tzedakah or passionate about mitzvahs. The Rebbe says, rather, what do I need you to be passionate about? Passionate about something. Something. Just be passionate about something. Possess the midah of passion. Because the Rebbe says, you know what the greatest challenge in life is? Sometimes we are dispassionate about everything. What am I excited about? Nothing. Right? What do I get excited about? Nothing. I'm kind of like I'm a happy guy. Happy guy, right? I'm happy about everything. Right? I'm fine. It's good. But what gets you excited? Sometimes the answer is not. The Rebbe says that's a problem. Something needs to get you excited. Whether it's... Who was the concert? What was the concert you were murmuring about before?
Beth Tefillah.
Beth Tefillah. There's a Beth Tefillah concert?
Every Shabbos.
Oh, mamish. Got it. Okay, got it. Chazanis, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, what were the other concerts you made references to before?
There are probably lots of concerts.
Yeah. Okay, fine. But again...
My colleague's going to hear this.
That's right. That's true. Smart man. So, by the way, and what the Rebbe is saying is, be able to identify something you're passionate about. You're passionate about football? Good. You're passionate about, I don't know what are people passionate about. Music? What? Pickleball.
Music.
It's just weird. Fine. We'll just take it. We'll take it. The Rebbe says it's okay. It doesn't, initially at least, it doesn't even matter exactly what you're passionate about. Just be passionate about something. Because if you're passionate about something, then you have that midah of passion. Once you have that midah, then we can figure out how to channel it. But the greatest challenge in life, says the Rebbe, in this Kabbalah say, is being dispassionate. Dispassionate people never really accomplish things in their spirituality. Why? Because true spiritual growth and accomplishment requires passion. So the Rebbe says, just make sure you have it and cultivate it, even with something that is quote unquote unholy. Not unholy, but even with something that's not holy per se. Cultivate that midah, And once you have it in Miraz Hashem, so we'll stop over here for tonight with this. We're going to pick up in Miraz Hashem next week with this piece. We're going to do 2 more pieces from the Rebbe Amana Shtana, and then in Miraz Hashem the Thursday night before Pesach. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Hard with Mechiras Chum. It's all right. We'll figure it out. Rosei, Shkoyach everyone. Muzumin. Meir, go ahead.
Baruch Eloheinu shechalanu Yisrael.